No thanks, I'm vegetarian, is a fun thing to say when someone tries to hand you their baby.
I don't trust people who exclaim that they hate children, and people who hate animals. Oh, and when people call babies ugly, please stop doing that. Let them at least try solid foods before imposing beauty standards on them. What the f is wrong with you? No, but really, I know that you might have your reasons, but it's strange, and I'm gonna explain why. But first, let me introduce myself. My name is Tara Mooney, and this is the only channel on YouTube where all videos are written and produced by a cow. She couldn't be in the video today because she's at a Christmas market, but if you like and subscribe, she might appear in the next one. So, to begin with, what do I mean by child hating? I don't mean just dislike, finding them a bit annoying, not being someone who's great with kids. I mean self-proclaimed hatred of children. To be clear, I'm not referring to being child-free. Choosing not to have children is a perfectly valid and often actively good choice. You live your life. I'm rooting for you. So during editing, the cow and I were just discussing our own views on whether we want children or not. I don't mean together because that would be illegal because I'm human and she's a cow. I'm very torn about it personally. And whilst I would never hold other people to this standard, not to get all eco-fash, but I do feel a bit uneasy about bringing a child into the world when it's going up in flames. Speaking of, I am thrilled to the gills to announce that today's video is sponsored by Wren. I've worked with Wren a bunch of times now because I genuinely believe in their mission. Wren is a website where you can easily calculate your carbon footprint by answering a few questions about your lifestyle. Then you offset your carbon footprint by funding a range of carbon reduction projects. Since their establishment in 2019, they have sent more than $4 million in funding projects to protect rainforests, plant trees, mineral weathering, just to name a few. I specifically endorse Wren because it's an example of carbon offsetting done right. Unlike a lot of carbon offsetting, which is done by big oil to greenwash their public image, Wren helps individuals support high impact climate solutions, with carbon offsetting being the mechanism they use to fund the projects, and they get results. Take, for example, their new refrigerant destruction project in France. This project permanently destroys harmful refrigerants that would otherwise be released in the atmosphere. CFC-12 is 10,900 times more harmful than CO2, so destroying it is important. By preventing these refrigerants from going into the atmosphere, this project helps to restore the ozone layer, reducing the global risk of skin cancer, whilst fighting climate change in the process. And it creates jobs. Wren users have financed 27% of the project, avoiding the release of 17,000 tons of carbon dioxide equivalent into the atmosphere. When you sign up to contribute to a project, you get monthly updates on its progress. Wren is all about transparency and results. So yes, sign up today. In fact, the first 100 people to sign up with my link get their first month covered by Wren for free. Thank you, Wren, for sponsoring today's video. What a good ad read, I'm gonna buy the shit out of that. So what inspired me to make this video? Well, I happen to be a Twitter user, despite recent events, and I came across this talk.
Leave this happen? This just kicked me off.
I like her wand. I need one of those, you know, because I'm an SJW snowflake. Ah, no, that's too easy, isn't it? Carry on.
I was trying to tell her she has to wait her turn to teach her manners, but she kept staring at me like I was crazy. My turn got taken. I even offered to pay for her to actually play, but she insisted on breaking the game instead. What do we do with her?
Bro, I don't know what happened. Yeah, it was my time to shine. What's up with kids? I'm not having kids. She's back?
It's really hard. I do this.
Huh?
That's what I'm gonna do.
Bro.
When I come.
So I have some thoughts. Extra, read all about it. A commentary YouTuber has some thoughts. I want to make it clear though that the purpose of me showing this TikTok is not to encourage a dog pile on the people in the video. That's not the point. don't give them the clout or attention. The point is that this disdain towards children is more common than you'd like to think. It's one thing to say, I don't really like interacting with kids, than it is to act actively hostile towards them. It's rotten. She called her a leech.
A leech.
The person who posted this really thought they were doing something. Not her threatening us at the end, LMFAO, why? You were playing the boxing game. Why are you lying? Why the fuck are you recording a minor? I was only filming originally, I wanted to get a vid of me jumping to the last level like this one. But then she walked in the video and made it funny. For all the people saying, why are you recording? Girl, if she stayed out of my video originally, she wouldn't be in the damn recording, LMAO. Who forced you to post it? Imagine going somewhere that's a hotspot for children, like, I don't know, an arcade, and then getting annoyed when children?
I'm not having kids.
Well, at least there's a silver lining. It's also important to mention that this video has provoked discussion surrounding anti-blackness and how that permeates in how we treat black children. That's a whole dissertation, so I will leave some resources on that.
I'm gonna refrain from calling you what I really want to call you, only because I'm on my third account and I don't want TikTok to give me any more violations. In regards to your caption in the original video, you know good and damn well that little girl was not threatening y'all. She obviously was talking about that's how she's gonna punch the bag, because y'all are at a punching bag game. Like, be fucking for real. It's words like that that get black girls villainized and adultified. Because how is she threatening you? She's a child. You're a grown-ass woman. And you liking weird comments calling this little girl aggressive, and people saying she looked like Jay-Z and all this other anti-black misogynistic BS is why your music career is gonna flop.
I did see some responses asking, where were her parents? Which is so not the point. No. That brings me to my next point. When people list what they dislike about children, what they're actually talking about is what they dislike about parents. And this brings me to the infamous subreddit r/childfree. Oh, they're probably gonna come for me now, aren't they? Here's the thing, I actually think this subreddit is ultimately a good thing. It's a space for people to discuss and vent their frustrations about the societal expectations of childbearing. It normalizes voluntary sterilization, which I think is grand, because if you know that you definitely don't want children, why the fuck should you still have to go through periods? You should be able to opt out. Oh, and my favorite is that it has an overarching pro-choice theme. Oh, and I also just find it so funny that they refer to parents as breeders. And after having a read through, it seems that they use the term breeder to describe a specific type of parent. You know, one who's irresponsible, neglectful, smug, looks down on people who are child-free, which is actually a really important point because there's a difference between, you know, creating children than it is to raise children. So yeah, it seems that in general, the people on the page seem to take issue with careless parenting. But then there's this guy. I unapologetically hate kids. Okay. I see people on here who love kids but don't want any of their own. I see people on here who hate zombified parents. I see people on here who hate kids. That's what group I'm in. I hate kids. I may be one of those people who gives CF people a bad rep, but it's just how I feel. I hate kids. I really hate kids. To start, I hate what pregnancy does to the body. It is gross and not natural to me at all. That is my biggest fear when it comes to kids. Then there's birth. Fucking ew, enough said. Then there are screaming newborns. No way. When I see a newborn baby in public, I wince. They're gross looking / smelling and are loud. I can't stand them. I have never wanted to hold a baby. Then there are toddlers. They're learning to walk and everyone is giving them all their attention to watch them walk 2 feet and then collapse. It's not cute. Walking is a normal thing. Why does everyone ogle about it? I mean, I'm not one to talk. My dog does the bare minimum and I praise her endlessly. Then they get older. They learn to talk and everything they say makes me cringe. I hate baby talk. They expect attention because since birth they've had people oogling over them. I'm not doing it. I've seen a meme about always answering a fake toy phone a toddler hands you, but nope. They should learn early on that not everyone is gonna be at their beck and call. Then kindergarten age comes. Temper tantrums are rampant about things that don't even matter. I mean, I have breakdowns about things that don't matter like every other day, so who am I to judge toddlers? They haven't learned manners yet. Come on. I know plenty of adults without manners. I know I sound cruel, you bet. But I feel like everyone here has to say they don't truly hate kids as to not get chastised. I don't care. I hate kids and I hate everything about them. Anytime I see one, my mood is dampened and I roll my eyes. I know some of you have to agree with me. I mean, that is just amazing. I hate kids like I hate onions. I can ask them not to be there, but they're always hidden one way or another. I understand why they're there, the roles they play, but it doesn't mean I have to deal with them, and I definitely shouldn't be expected to. And one random stranger, me, will not completely devastate or scar a child forever if I choose to ignore them. What annoys me is that they stare, like when I'm at the store standing behind someone with a baby kid. They just give this creepy blank stare. Okay, I have to agree with the staring thing. Does kind of creep me out when a small child stares at me, but I'd rather that than it be a grown man. So yeah, I just wanted to show you those to give you an insight into why people are so forthright about their hatred of children. And I think the reason I sympathize most with that I saw is that people who had traumatic childhoods find being around children upsetting. I sympathize with that. It's like when I've ever been in a school as an adult. It just sends shivers down my spine. That being said, I still find it odd, even toxic. There's nothing edgy or quirky about hating a vulnerable group of people. Children are dependent on adults, and they are extra vulnerable to violence and abuse. They're often seen as mere extensions of their parents rather than people in their own right. When people generalize children as noisy, uninteresting, not intellectually stimulating, it reduces them to an age group, instead of acknowledging that they're each people with their own individual personalities, point of view, and passions. So keep an open mind, because each kid is different, just like each person, adult person, is different. And listen, I get that being around children can be tiresome. I am making this video as someone who finds being around children quite a daunting prospect. You know, I'm someone with a pretty dry sense of humour, and that doesn't really land with younger kids. I don't have the energy to play with them for hours on end, or answer their endless questions. But why? Because I don't. But why? I don't know, Henrietta. Go sniff some Play-Doh. Anyone else do that as a kid, or were you normal? I would like to see a shift in how we view parenting and children.
Go clean your room.
It's gonna take forever.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Hey.
It's so dirty.
Okay, who's not listening? I'll get him.
Go clean it.
A traditional parent would look at that and say, wow, way to teach that little boy to respect his father, to respect authority figures, but that's not respect. That's compliance, and they are not the same thing. That little boy is downright afraid of his father, and you can see it because of the countenance change on his face. When he's talking to his mom, he feels safe, showing those vulnerable emotions. But then the minute that dad raises his voice and says, hey, he stops, and he's like, oh gosh, now I've got to put on my mask and act like I'm okay. I can't show these vulnerable emotions to daddy. That is utterly heartbreaking to me. And if you understand that all behavior is communication of a need, you look at that little boy and what he's saying in the beginning of that video, it's gonna take forever. My room is so dirty. And you understand that he's saying, I feel really stressed out and overwhelmed by this, and I just need someone to come in and help me. If we were to put this in an adult scenario and look at the times in our adult lives where we are trying to spin all the plates and handle all of the tasks, and we feel extremely overwhelmed by that, if someone were to come in a scenario like that and say to us, oh, it's not that overwhelming. Oh, like, just get over it. Like, you just need to go do all your tasks. That would not be helpful. Number two, if somebody were to come in and say, you better get all those tasks done or you're going to be in trouble, then that too would not be super helpful. And our motivation would be external, not internal, right?
People often act as if kids not being fully developed is justification for not giving our social interactions with them the same thought and care as we would our peers. What I mean is that people often say things like, oh, well, they won't remember, or they won't understand when I say that I hate them because they're stupid. But they do. I have this vivid memory from when I was about 9 years old, and I was in a restaurant with my parents, and there was this woman there, and I laughed with my parents, did a little giggle, as you do, as kids do, had a little giggle, and I just remember so vividly her reaction. Oh, the look of disgust on her face, and she scoffed. Oh, and I remember thinking, what did I do? People who get irritated by children's joy and liveliness are rotten. I get their tantrums and screaming are annoying, but if you're getting annoyed by their joy, then you're rotten. And reacting that way can lead to kids shrinking themselves, especially little girls. I'm not a psychologist, by the way, so, you know, I'm just talking out me arse. This is just all hypothesizing, so don't sue me, please. It's 5 a.m. But yeah, that's my 2 cents. Go on, have some discourse in the comments. Tell me I'm wrong, but I won't read it though. So if you really want to have a go at me, DM me. Oh wait, I don't read my DM requests anymore. Guess you'll just have to scream into the void. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like, because 1 like equals 1 snowflake wand being gifted to a snowflake SJW. See ya, bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Today's subscription pet shout-out is different, because I've decided to shout out the cats that visit my new flat. So there seems to be an infestation going on, but like in a good way, of floofy cats in this flat. And it's magnificent. This is the first floof.
You are a funny kitty. Look at you. I'm sorry to inform you, but a dog is going to move in here. I know, but a dog is going to live here. You're not going to like that. I'm so sorry. Yeah, a dog is going to be here very soon. I know.
She's so friendly and vocal and is apparently a girl. I haven't, checked, because that's weird. The neighbours said that she's been visiting everyone on the road for years, and she answers to Derek because that's what they called her before they realised she was a girl. Oh, and the plot thickens. The other day, another one appeared.
There's another one. Hi. Hi. Hello. Where are all these really confident, super floofy kitties coming from? What is going on?
I swear, there must be something in the air. It's a Christmas miracle.